This podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. Your San Diego County Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Fix Auto. Corky's Pest Control. And Lolita's Family of Restaurants.
Hey sports fans, Christian Pedersen, David Ring. We are inside the Canyonside Softball and Baseball Academy to talk about the last game of the 2016-2017 school year, and that is the Open Division Baseball Championship. One side of the bracket, we got the Eastlake Titans. They were here last year. Other side of the bracket, though, they weren't here last year, but it feels like they're here in pretty much every other single sport. The Helix Scotties. We have taken all of our baseball focus eastward. This is where the center of the universe seems to be right now, with two teams out in the East County battling it out. Two teams just, head to toe all-star lineups. Plenty of guys that we're going to be talking about in the next level, the level after that. I don't really know where to start. There are literally too many players on both of these teams to single out, oh, that guy's where we start this discussion, that guy's where we just start this discussion. I'm going to start with this, though, Dave. Both of these teams have had to play some pretty intense postseasons. Mm-hmm. Both these teams have had to have some clutch wins. Both teams had a loss. Is there any way that we can kind of figure out who's got an early leg up?
This is a tough pick. Both teams have pitching. That's how Helix got here. Connor Kanishi, I've been saying it all along. This guy, clutch pitching, threw his best games at the end of the season when it all mattered. Eastlake, on the other hand, they've shut down RB. They've shut down teams that have enormous offenses. So to answer your question, this is my toughest pick by far, just because of the fact of how scrappy Helix has been and how much they have beat teams that they weren't expected to beat, like Cathedral. We all saw at the beginning of the year that we thought it was going to be an Eastlake Cathedral rematch.
Yeah.
And to see Helix in there is great for the game, and to see someone different in there. And I think it also tells you something about that program over there and how strong they really are.
Who'd have thought we'd live in a world where we would say it's refreshing to see Helix in a final? Like that no offense, Helix, but that just seems a little different. Right. But hey, props to them. You mentioned Connor Kanishi. He's been a big part of this. Pitching with that one clutch hit seems to be Helix's mindset throughout these playoffs and this season. On the other side, Eastlake, they kind of seem like they're that big juggernaut heavyweight Mike Tyson type puncher who they just come at you left hook, right hook, left hook, right hook, left hook, right hook. But eventually they have those one or two games where they just kind of don't have that energy to really drop those big bombs. We saw that early in the playoffs when they lost a close one to Madison. That was a game where they were lacking in the signature home runs and really knocking the ball all over the yard. So it seems that if Helix can find a way early to lower the tempo, slow it down, keep them just a little bit off pace, I think Helix has a great shot to win this one. You talked about Kanishi. They've got Jordan Jackson. They've got Matt Richardson. They got a bunch of talent that maybe we don't know their names quite as well as we know these Eastlake names, because Eastlake has been getting a lot of love. So I'm going to say this. It's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be a dramatic game. It's going to be a Helix win.
Wow, and to second, I think Helix has been a slightly underrated team all year with the staff that they have. They should have been in the top 5.
They had a couple of league losses at really inopportune times while other teams were on fire.
Yeah, and so, like you said, Helix has got the opportunity to win here, but I don't see Casey Schmidt and company, their bats going silent at all. It's going to be another.
So you're saying an Eastlake win?
I'm saying an Eastlake win. They're going to score at least 6 runs.
All right, well, we've got a split of opinions on just about everything about this game. We'll see if it is finally Eastlake's time to return to the champions, or if this is another edition of #NotYourLions tournament. Folks, we're going to find out all of this Saturday night, 7 p.m., USD. You need to be there. We will be there. There is no better way to end this season than the best city in the world for high school baseball, featuring the 2 best teams in the world for high school baseball. Yeah. Let's go. This is going to be a great game, folks. We will see you there.